Well, here it is. The ghoul kitchen. You know, it's funny, I've known Gus for many years, and I've never actually been inside. And, seeing as how his van isn't here, I guess there's no point to. You're right. We both owe it to him to at least go inside to see if he's alright. I mean, it's just a kitchen, right? It's like any other, it's just that it cooks human meat. No, it's alright. He takes his job very seriously. I should trust him to keep a nice, clean workspace. I mean, it's not like you just leave carved up bodies all over the floor. My God! Oi, pisshead. I suggest you take your fun time somewhere else. This is a crime scene. Take it easy. Agent. I assume you're an agent. Can't a woman puke in an alley without being harassed? Oh, I'm not much the judgmental type. I'm more concerned about why a human and a werewolf are hanging outside a ghoul kitchen. Can I imagine it's for lunch? No. I am friends with a ghoul who runs this establishment. He's run into a bit of trouble, you see. He said he had a Naga, and as a member of the Mages Guild, I figured it'd be my duty to report it. Oh, so it was here. You never heard of a Naga? Guess you weren't much of a mythology kid, huh? Well, it's derived from an old South Asian myth of a half-human, half-snake person. Yeah, I don't get it either. And when it was discovered that magic could be used to create animal-human hybrids, a bunch of mages with no original ideas decided to go about making them real. That's not to say it's easy, mind you. It's an imperfect science, and making something that matches the idealized fiction you see in art is strenuous and not without multiple failures. That was until Dario Manavici came onto the scene. He worked harder than anyone else, made it his specialty. Not only did he create Nagas and Harpies and all other kinds of mythical creatures, but he made it so they could reproduce, essentially creating his own ecosystem. He was quite literally the god of his own little world. Oh no, he isn't dead. He just lost his guild membership. Why? Because he's an insane right-wing crank. Should have been obvious to anyone, really. I mean, you don't get that invested in gene splicing without having a eugenics fetish, you know what I mean? When I studied there, he was still a lecturer, and there was this joke that the students used to tell. It went, what's Dario's favourite make of car, architectural style, and piece of classical music? The answer was, anything German. Oh, everybody knew. His true colours would come out every now and again, but where it really became unavoidable was during his graduation speech to the class of 2039. You can still go up and watch it in any place the guild hasn't taken it down. It was this wild rant about humanity had lost its place in the hierarchy to the legions of hell, and how it was our duty to re-establish humans on top. I think he meant it to sound like a rousing call to action, but really was more of a John Wayne situation. In fact, I think he might have been drunk. Long story short, his license to teach was revoked and the beasts were put into the care of some other mages. Well, that ended up being the problem. In terms of the ecosystem, these things aren't supposed to exist. Unleashing them upon Earth would cause God knows what to happen. So they're forbidden outside of the Academy grounds to prevent an ecological shit show. But, of course, this just makes them all the more desirable to rich perverts who want to eat them, wear them, or just keep them as a pet. Oh no, believe me, it takes a lot of time and money to protect these things, but they do it anyway. Well, because they deserve to live without fear of being poached. No matter who made them, even if that person was a bonkers fascist.
Oh my god, Leah?
Oh shit. That's Mimi Melcher, my old roommate.
Leah Avon, it is you. I haven't seen you since graduation. How you been? The potion life treating you well?
It's going great. In fact, I run my own independent business.
Oh, well look at you. I'm surprised. You used to act all buttoned up all the time. I figure you would have gotten a cushy guild job.
Oh, please. I have more spare time running my own store than whatever inane crap the Archwizard has them working on. Anyway, you'll want to talk. Never sussed you for someone who would rub shoulders with court agents.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my first choice. My first job was working at one of those agencies that buy the rights to resurrect dead celebrities. But the whole practice was just too skeezy for me, so I quit.
Wow, that's pretty honourable, Mimi. Did she fuck? She done it quit. She was fired for trying to pass off a zombie Elvis impersonator as the real zombie Elvis.
Callahan! Okay, in my defense, he was 100% game, and I figured management wouldn't know the difference.
In that case, I take it back. You haven't changed a bit.
Hey, it's your fault. You're the one who made me like this. After I met you, every other week was some new crazy mishap that I got dragged into. Like that time you turned Compton Solomon's cat into jelly.
What? It's still alive. In fact, it even became the mascot of the potions department.
Or that time you inadvertently spiked the punch at the school dance and turned the whole event into a very special episode of Frasier.
Okay, it wasn't Frasier. It was a special episode of Cheers that had Frasier in it.
Or that time you tried making your own estrogen pills and ended up turning yourself into a cow.
Hey, that was a very liberating weekend. And can we please not lay out all of my mishaps in front of my intern?
Oh, where are my manners? Mimi Melcher, it's nice to meet you. And might I say, what big claws you have. Taking a werewolf under your wing, Leah?
It's a favour to a friend. Besides, you can never be too careful in this line of work. A werewolf? Perhaps they'll be able to help us track down this missing Naga.
We were tracking the car that picked up the poacher to this place. Now, with the owners dead and both the Naga and the poacher missing, we can only assume the worst.
What about the owner? Have you seen him? We searched the whole building and haven't found hide nor hair of any ghoul, neither undead or just dead.
Whoever was running the kitchen was seen leaving in their van about an hour ago. Whether it was by his own volition or by force, we don't know.
You think the poacher might be holding him hostage? Not likely. Trust me, if you saw a picture of the spindly little wet boy we're after, I doubt you'd worried about him being a threat. The real problem is the stiffs. Oh god, right. Okay, first of all, you need to understand, he's a ghoul. This is medically advised cannibalism. I know that, I'm talking about who they were. These are Polanski men.
Are you still sure about that?
Aye, I'm telling you, I recognise their faces. Or at least the one that has a face.
Right. Ugh, you think he could have taken the bolt out before biting his face off?
What, you think he'd look better with a giant hole in his forehead?
Okay, you know, that's pretty rich coming from someone who was puking their guts out not 10 minutes ago.
Would the two of you shut up? Mimi, help me search the body.
Why don't I just raise his corpse and you can ask him what happened? He has to do what I say.
Nah, too risky. The Polanski family founder was a notorious lich who had totem ways of getting around the necromancer's bindings. So if these guys are dead and the poacher is a wet boy, surely Gus would have just left of his own volition. That was my first impression. But I find it unlikely that they wouldn't have had a backup crew in case the first one failed.
If that were true, how come the car's still parked out front? Pretty sloppy of a cleanup crew to leave evidence, isn't it?
If I know Gus, there's one place in the city he'd go if he ever got in over his head. Foursquare Gardens.
That dump?
Mimi!
No, I mean, it's a literal dump. Why would he go there?
Because the owner is an insane doomsday prepper that through some absurd memes became good friends with Gus. That place is like a fortress. They'd stand no chance. Well, that settles it. You and Mimi go after your toothy friend. Meanwhile, I'm going to go find the poacher. With these...
Jesus Christ.
Neither of the stiths have their fingers missing. And these ain't sharp enough to be a ghoul's finger. And it's not like Gus to leave food unfinished. With a proper enchantment, these digits will lead me right to him.
Seems like a plan. This'll give Leia and I plenty of time to catch up and to introduce me to her werewolf friend.
Oh, good.